stories on Crime Tomorrow. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who joins us here in the studio. Congressman, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
What do you expect to hear tomorrow?
Oh, the truth. The truth. You know, the truth is a good thing. The truth shall set you free. So we're going to hear about from a mother that lost her son, who was an Afghanistan war hero that fought for us and was brutally and destructively murdered. We're going to hear from the owner of the bodega, who was actually trying to protect his own life and stop the attackers, and stop particularly one of them. He killed him with a knife, and he had to protect himself and his store. And I believe in hold your ground. You know, this is your store, your life. And you know what Alvin Bragg did to him? He put him in jail. He put him in jail for protecting his life. Thank God there was such an outcry that he had to let him out. But we're going to hear from this man. We're going to hear from people who are the leaders of organizations that are going to speak about what's going on with crime and what happens to innocent families who are going to get hurt. You know, it's all throughout. It's not only New York. Bragg is the worst. I mean, Alvin Bragg, and that's why we going to have Alvin's Law, which is going to essentially say there should be no federal funding for anybody who is conducting themselves as a prosecutor in this way. It's wrong. That's your tax dollars and my tax dollars.
Bragg would say, of course, he's trying to follow the law. They say they apply the law fairly and appropriately. No. You see it, though? You see his progressive policies as hurting crime victims?
Absolutely. Look, you know, I might be a simple country dentist, but I'm telling you the truth. This guy has literally reduced over half of all the penalties that have come through the courts from to a misdemeanor. To a misdemeanor. And that's unbelievable.
And what does that do for the
that means they
element?
walk. That means they walk. It means the criminal element isn't scared. That means they hurt people. And you hear it and see it wherever you go. You know, Bragg wants to say it's no big deal and crime is down. It's not down. There's been a slight shift in murders. Almost everything else is up. Rates, aggressive assaults, all of these types of things are up. And you see it every day. You see it in Washington. You see it in Washington, where Senator Paul's aide was knifed in the head, and I pray to God he's okay. You see it in Washington, where my chief of staff was mugged, and thank God she can handle herself, and she got out of it, but it was scary. You see it in Washington. You see it in Seattle. You see it in New York. These are George Soros-funded people. Imagine we've got some bad guy, and he is a bad guy, funding our prosecutors in the United States of America because he wants to change the fabric of this country.
Soros does give money. He says he did not give money directly to Bragg. He gave money to an organization that supports Bragg. But you do have a point, and you know what critics say. They say, well, this is just payback to Bragg because he's going after former President Trump. It's all political.
And that's why Bragg shouldn't open his mouth about anything being political. He's the ultimate political hack. Frankly, and I'm going to be a little harsh, it's the way it is. I tell what I think. I think this guy should resign. I think he should be disbarred. I mean, many lawyers on both sides of the aisle are completely disgusted with how he is handling this case. This case is a nothing burger.
You're calling for disbarment based on you feel he's not following the law? What would be the grounds?
Yes. And we'd have to go into the details on this, but there has already been, I mean, it's proof that we're beyond the statute of limitations. There's proof that it just doesn't make sense whatsoever. They're trying to do something that was never done before, say, well, you committed one crime.
Oh, you're talking about the Trump case.
The Trump case,
okay.
Yes. But in general, that's not what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Our Democratic friends are going to want to talk about Trump, because they don't want to tell the truth. And it's crime, and it's hurting our people. And it doesn't matter whatever race, color, or creed you are. Crime hurts your babies, your grandmothers, your fathers, your mothers, and it has to be stopped. We need a safe country.
And tragically and sadly, it affects the minority community.
Very much so.
In our country, disproportionately.
I can't believe, I know that black moms don't want to see their little black babies, nor do Asians, nor do whites shot and hurt in all that goes on in Chicago. My God, look at Chicago, too. But Bragg is the centerpiece for it, man. He is just the guy that represents it all, along with his buddy George Soros.
All right, we'll see what. Well, I don't know if they're buddies. They didn't say that he did give money to that group.
He gave him money
in
a sneaky way.
All right.
In a sneaky way. I guarantee it.
All right, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you for joining us. We'll see what comes out of the hearing.
My pleasure.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.